Hi everyone, and welcome back to Top Chair Sports. It's Thursday, so without further ado, let's jump into the latest news around the NFL. First off, though, Gronk is loving retirement, which is great to hear. There's no plans as of now to come back. With his lifestyle and his money, I don't blame him. I would probably love retirement at 30 also. The great defenses of the league, and lesser ones even, especially, are all probably breathing a heavy sigh of relief when this was said by Rob himself, as we all know how much terror he can be on the field for those 6 to 8 games a year that he is healthy, and especially not playing defense himself. Speaking of defenses, as promised last week, the top defenses in the league to keep an eye on are going to be the main topic this week. So, first off, the Chicago Bears. The current crown jewel of defense in the league, with star Khalil Mack leading them. Last year, of course, he had something to prove coming out of Oakland in that blockbuster trade for the first round picks. However, I don't see this defense slowing down at all, especially with, as we said, the rough patches that the offense is expecting. If the Bears are going to be a playoff team, then this defense will still perform like at least a top 3 team throughout the league. Another star of the league to keep an eye on is the Los Angeles Rams. Let's not forget how this past Super Bowl was still one of the worst ever. It was pretty low scoring, but also we need to not forget that the Rams held Tom Brady and the Patriots offense in check for most of that game. There were times where a big play happened here or there, and at the end, a few more points were scored than probably should have been. However, that Rams defense is something serious. The Rams are something serious, and their defense is going to stay that way this coming year. And I expect them with the Bears and probably one other competitor to step up and be the top 3 defenses in this league, who are the ones to watch. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a very interesting case. They released Gerald McCoy earlier this year and recently signed Ndamukong Suh to help pad the defensive line without McCoy. I say recently as in since we've started this channel and also since our podcast end. So basically between March and now. Ndamukong Suh will help fill that gap where Joe McCoy was on the defensive line. It's going to be huge to have him for the Buccaneers because if they did not get Suh and just lost McCoy, they would pretty much already be doomed for last place in that division again. Their defense keeps them in it time to time, and without a big star there, I don't see it happening. Especially in a division where they have to compete with MVP candidate Drew Brees, Matty Ice, and running specialist himself, Cam Newton. Speaking of Cam Newton and the Panthers, they made a big acquisition this offseason too, by signing none other than, that's right, Gerald McCoy from the Buccaneers. So, this is the main subject and news I wanted to talk about today because it just blew my mind. It was a great move by the Panthers, in my opinion, because you pretty much took one of those star defensive players from one of your biggest competitors. You play them twice a year. Always division battles mean so much more. And now you put him going against the same quarterbacks that he has been practicing against for years. With all due respect to however much the Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterbacks stay there for years. However, this makes the division rivalry even that much more. For this game, or these 2 games a year, Gerald McCoy I expect will go off in at least one of them. It seems like players usually do when they have something to prove or they feel like they have a chip on their shoulder after being let go by a certain team. This also brings me to wonder if the Buccaneers will win any divisional games this year. I know Suh replaced McCoy, but now you just made one of the defenses in your league stronger by letting go of McCoy and having him go to the Panthers. We know the Saints and the Falcons offenses can be brutal as well, so I don't see the Buccaneers really winning a game in that division, but we'll cover that next week. The Ravens are one of the main talking points for defense for me, but for the complete opposite reason as the others that I've listed. Their defense shined last year in the spotlight, and they were one of those top 3 defenses along with the Rams and Bears, in my opinion. It was pretty much those 3, and however, it seemed like the players in Baltimore realized that this was their golden year and that their golden years were only going to go downhill from there after their playoff run. those most of those players from Baltimore pretty much signed a bigger contract and chose to go elsewhere. It seems like the whole area and atmosphere of that defense kind of disbanded, and I don't see them coming close to replacing the numbers that they put up last year on defense. So the guys who fill their shoes will need to in some way step up and prevent offenses from at least covering some of the ground that they left open for them. That's pretty much all the major topics today I have for defense. Thank you for tuning into Top Chair Sports. Please let us know what you think as far as who is the top defense, either who will be the best defense this coming year, or who is the top defense that you want to keep an eye on for, whether it be a certain player, certain rookies they drafted, or just you think they're pretty overhyped and they're probably going to be a big bust because it seems to happen. Anyways, make sure to like, comment, and smash that subscribe button. And thanks for tuning in to Top Chair Sports on the Beer League Bench Talk.